thought.
First off, let me just say hi, Queen. You're beautiful.
My.
Ladies. First of all,
my rap name is capital R, lowercase I, uppercase A, and the real purpose of this name is the real industry anomaly.
Pisces, get what I'm saying? Entering the age of Aquarius. Yeah, for sure. Which is the age of information.
And then things happen and play out, and then you lose respect, but you caught feelings.
Bring home the bacon. Well, do this. Well, I'm gonna sit back like a fat rat. I'm gonna be Mr. Mom.
Generation. Open yourself up to learn some new things and utilize the resources.
Let that surgery boom and I can just go get it. No, some things shouldn't be that easy, especially for young people to do.
And let us say again, we are by no means, discounting anything or anybody or anybody's feelings. We're just specifically giving our opinions on.
Cook that shit up, Quay. Oh my gosh, back at it again. Back at it. In the kitchen whipping, I'm rapping again. Whipping. Keep on.
And I set you apart.
But a child is not a house, and a house is not a home when there's no one there.
No such thing. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours.
Love yours.
No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Elevated Mindset, the podcast where we have highly intelligent discussion amplified on a regular basis. Tonight, me and the ladies are going to be picking apart some of the most interesting reels that we find interesting enough to evoke or provoke us to have a discussion or maybe even a debate about it. And we want to share that with you tonight. So we're going to do that. We're also going to discuss the main meat of our podcast on tonight.
Get in the car. Get in the motherfucking car. Oh, right now. Bitch, get in the car. You so motherfucking grown. You think I give a fuck about these folks? Bitch, get in the car, ho. Bitch, get in the car, ho.
Listen. Ladies. First of all, this video struck me in so many different ways. I appreciate the fact that even though her son is bigger than her, she didn't care. She was going to put something on that A word, no matter what, in front of whoever he was in front of. So for me, that speaks to real parenting. Now, would I have called him so many derogatory names out of his name so many times? No, I don't condone that myself. I personally would not speak to my child like that. But in terms of her going to get him where he was, where she found him for whatever he did. And I remember back in the day when we were growing up, it was said that wherever you show out at, that's where you get dealt with at. And that is a true testament to that statement. So if we had more parents like that would stand up to their children like this woman did, then it would probably be a better place, because kids in this generation, in this day and age, they care about absolutely nothing.
So this particular clip here was very interesting to me. We definitely don't see a lot of this anymore. With somebody just literally taken to their, with someone just literally taken to their child and whooping that ass, right? And this is what happened in this clip. Then it seems to be that the child was being disrespectful to somebody prior to the mom getting there. I have no idea. But like I said, we do not see this type of action anymore. I don't remember the last time I seen nothing like that. Now, I don't necessarily condone the way the mom handled the situation per se. I don't condone that. I would have probably handled it a totally different way, but to each his own in this day and time, especially with this generation, right?
Yeah, this is definitely a flashback, a throwback from yesteryear when that type of chastisement was more common, right? And I mean, I know mom is in the fight for his life, I'm sure, and she's doing what she thinks is the best that she can do to help discipline him and get him in line. Now, I don't know what happened that led up to that situation, but mama was hot and she was in her mama bear fight or flight mode is what it looked like to me. And she was trying to get her little cub or her big cub back in line. So one of the greatest, that is a vow, yeah, that is a promise. Always wanted to be famous, just being real, yeah, just being honest. My haters won't always be nameless, give them no clout, I give them no power. Creators feel different than ancients, sooner than later, what will be ours? I keep an eye out for the numbers, let's stay in contact, synchronization. To infinity, even beyond it, I am a common, no destination. A lot of things I am above, and there are a lot of things that are above me. Do not come for the people I love, cause then I get scary, then I get ugly, yeah. They know, problems, number, equation, present, notice, observation. I'm not stupid, remote, reaction, coming, fighting, celebration.
Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Who's there?
I'm free on my own, not without no partner, so I can date who I want, because that comes with the freedom of being able to like the person. It's just be out here dating niggas with money, don't even like them.
Got a certain stage.
And now you're not happy. What's the point of being with somebody if you're not genuinely happy?
Wow, she said a mouthful then. I couldn't agree with her more, because for me, when you're getting into a relationship, it's about more than money. Typically, when you get into relationships for other reasons, such as money, and you don't really like that person, you're not feeling them, you don't love them, it's basically using. And when someone finds out they're being used, typically it doesn't end well. So
amen, amen, D. Absolutely agree with how you put it. And I just want to say, you know, a woman of value is definitely not going to consider being in a transactional relationship. I mean, just for the sake of, you know, because he has the means to do all these things. I get it. I get that you may need certain things, but a woman of value is going to figure out how to do it on her own. A woman of value is going to not necessarily on her own as much as it is. She's going to figure out how to do it for herself because that's who she is.
Ladies, very powerful message. A lot of validity in the words that she just spoke. I can't lie about that, but I'm gonna keep it 100. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it 150 with y'all right now. For me, I would not care, and it may be a sad thing. It just may be me in the way that I am or my mindset, but I don't care if I had $5 or 5 million. Let's be clear, 5 billion. I want what I want. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be with anybody for the sake of what they can do for me, because, you know, and I'm not happy. I'm absolutely not happy. I'm not doing that with anybody. I don't care what the bracket is. That's just my whole take on it. You know, that's why I don't necessarily use money as a method of measure, but finances definitely play a big part in, you know, you making your choices. And she's right. You know, you have more of a choice of who you date when your bracket is up, when your bread is up, when your money's right, when your bag is swagging and sagging, right? So I totally agree with that, but it's just for me. I don't care what the bracket is, baby. I'm not going to settle with somebody that I do not like just because you're able to do X, Y, and Z. Because as Yvonne said, a woman of value will get out and figure out how to do it for herself. And I have done that each and every time, ever since I was 14 years old, baby. Been getting to the bag. You hear me? So I understand what she's saying, and very well said. But whatever the pocket is, choosing love. Please believe it. On this week's episode.
But you like it. You like it. You like it because it looked good. You like it. Pow, 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 pow. She got it going on. You like that. Y'all better stop liking butts and booties and start getting in people's brains. That booty ain't real anyway. It's perpetration, it's pretend, it's plastic, it's fluids.
Ooh, flawless. Shan.
All right, Pastor. Now, choir, give us a selection, please. These BBLs is killing y'all, but the thighs don't match. Well. All right. Enough being silly. But seriously though, you know, the obvious is that those things, those exaggerated giblets, those inflated, you know, clownish, you know, spectacle enhancements that these women get, that you can tell they are enhancements, are really, really sad and unfortunate. Because not only, obviously, as you age, it won't be beneficial. It'd be problems for your back, problems for your shoulders. You know, just not a good look as you age. And then I think very soon after these women get these things, they start to realize they're attracting flies and bugs and undesirables, because they're looking at those exaggerated giblets. And so they're getting exaggerated attention and not necessarily the desired attention and energy that maybe they intended for. I don't know. But the best enhancement is to work on yourself, heal your traumas, improve and invest in your own self-value, so that, you know, whatever you do on the outside will be commensurate with what's on the inside, and be respectful to you.
Now this right here is absolutely hilarious. You better come through, Pastor. You better absolutely preach. You know what I like to call these type of women that go and get the extra pieces put onto their bodies and things of that nature? I call them Egos. You know, like Legos, because Legos, we stack them into little blocks. So Egos are the Build-A-Bear women that go get these new bodies and they lose themselves. They get lost in the sauce, totally forget where they came from, who they are, just take on a whole new identity and become this whole boom bam bakaya. So I call them Egos because it totally blows up their egos. I just switched the word over. They're Egos, something like a Lego. But yeah, I just want people to think about what it's gonna look like later on when she's a lot older and everything is dropped except that butt and those breasts. That's gonna be some real illiform stuff. That's gonna be a hard person, a hard significant other to try to take care of, right? Because it's gonna be something to look at, laugh at, and enjoy at the same time. It might be entertainment, I don't know. But yeah, Pastor definitely on to something. Definitely on to something. Y'all gotta learn to get into the mind, into the hearts. It's not about all of that, because at the end of the day, all of that is gonna dissipate and fade away. And you're gonna be working with the mental state of that individual. The way that individual loves from the heart, from the core. So all those outside extractions and distractions are throwing y'all off. So get it together. The pastor got some, so keep on trying to get you a Build-A-Bear. You better go to the mall and get you a real one.
Yeah, I know Pastor stepped on some toes, and it's going to be some people that's mad at Pastor. But listen, he's got a point. And you're right. That stuff is not going to last. When they get to be 50, 60, 70 and gravity starts to take a hold, the only thing that's not going to go sliding down is going to be those boobs and that butt. And then, too, on the other side of that, fellas, y'all probably want to pay attention to these huge boobs and these huge behinds that ain't real, because you might find yourself in the crying game and you end up with a lady boy because you like that physical attraction. And then even if it's not that, maybe it's a real woman and she's got all this stuff going on, but have you checked her mental? It's nothing like having a nice, fine brick house airhead. I mean, it's nothing cute about that, because at the end of the day, when all that wears off and she can't hold an intelligent conversation, what you gonna do then? Go looking for the next one? So yeah, do some evaluation, ask some questions, dig deep, and find out who you're getting into, what you're getting into, and with whom.
It's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1 million, $1 billion, and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. I know you're rich.
Can you tell if a woman is being manipulated in a relationship?
If she looks tired. If she looks tired, she's mentally tired, emotionally tired, spiritually tired, financially tired. If a woman is crying for no reason, is suffering from anxiety and depression, and she's mentally and emotionally going through things, and she has a man in the relationship with her, she's being manipulated. Most of the time, she's working harder than this man. If she's not working harder than him as far as the workforce, she's working harder in the relationship emotionally, spiritually. If it's not spiritually, she's working harder mentally. If a woman is being manipulated, she looks more drained than she did before she got into the relationship. She's tired. She's just tired. And that's all she says, I'm tired. And sometimes she doesn't even realize why she's tired. It's the man that's manipulating her and pulling the energy from her to make her do things to satisfy him, but he never does things to satisfy her. And if he does, it's only to receive more from her than he gives from her. Women have to wake up. They are the tree of life. They carry the children inside of their womb. They deserve to be treated special. They deserve to be respected, loved, cherished, protected, and provided for. So if you see a woman tired, drained, aging before her time, becoming sick out of nowhere, skin breaking, hair falling out, she's in a manipulative relationship and she's being used in the worst ways by a sick, narcissistic man.
Yes, 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 yes. Amen, brother. I 100% agree with him saying that, you know, a woman, you can tell when a woman is drained mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Being in a relationship where you are, one, unequally yoked, when you're with a boy that's playing dress up as a man, you will become financially drained, emotionally drained, physically, mentally, all of that, because you're dealing with a low vibrating individual who has not yet grown up and does not know how to nurture and take care of and respect a woman.
Brother was telling the truth about, you know, when a woman, when you see that kind of weight and heaviness on a woman, she is carrying the world on her shoulders. And unfortunately, you know, we as women, and I'll say specifically and particularly Black women, have had to wear this cape of Superwoman for the longest time for our culture. And I think that is is as much help as it has been for us to be the glue to hold our family, our children, our husbands, our brothers, our cousins, our fathers, grandparents, whatever. We being the glue to that really also, bled over into us staying in relationships far too long.
Woo, ladies. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. So, Yvonne, I couldn't agree with you more. D, I could not agree with you more. Aside from what you ladies said, I don't have too much more to add. I do want to say to what you did say, the both of you, ditto and ditto. I wholeheartedly and 100% agree with what you said, and absolutely with what the gentleman said, of course. Um, yeah. I have been there myself, D. And in today's age, narcissism or narcissists is being heightened, but it actually has been around way before this generation. But unfortunately, this generation is catching a lot of it. And it's not just within this generation, it's just that it's very heightened with the way people move, with the way some people are behaving, conduct themselves. They call this thing a survival mode. And to me, that's just a horrible way to look at anything, because if you're in survival mode, that means you don't care what you would do to anybody to get what you want. And unfortunately, that's the way that many people are living, both men and women. And you have to know when you're not evenly yoked, as you say, D, when things are not aligned, you have to figure that out, and you have to know when to adjust yourself accordingly. Myself, I give people a canvas. It's funny how a lot of times there are people within situations that feel like they are manipulating or using an individual. And a lot of times you are taking those tactics, but you're not doing them with them being unseen or unknown. They're not going unseen. If anyone is like myself, sometimes I give a person a canvas, and I allow you to paint on that canvas your own character, your own personality. You are not aware of it, but you are clearly painting that picture for me. So I might give you a chance and another one just to see what you're drawing over there. But once I sit back and I step back and I take a good look at what you've been drawing for me, then I have to draw my own conclusion on what I need to do with that individual. So in any situation, man or woman, you have to know when things are unevenly yoked, when it's not aligned, when there's no reciprocation, when there's no appreciation, and when you have to do what you got to do, there's no validation needed. That's all I got to say.
Hey, happy Monday. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. And if you hadn't been until now, let's decide we doing good from now on. How about that? Anyway, I came on to say that, listen, the people that show up in your life, that give you time, that pay attention to you, that listen, that share with you, that are patient with you, you should cherish them. Show up for them in the way that they need you, right? Because they could not do those things. They could find something else to do. And the way that this gig goes, life is so much better when it's shared. Yes. And when people give you good, you should return good. Now, if you got some folks that's, putting some sour milk in a chain, well, then you need to flush that out. And don't waste another second of time. Post haste. Immediately. Expeditiously, as T.I. would say. But I'm talking about those people that are worth it. That have shown you nothing but love. Do not, and I repeat, do not take them for granted. Be a good steward of the love they pour in you and on you. Be a good steward of the doors they open for you. Be a good steward of the wisdom they pour into you. Yes, yes.
Let the women get their glory.
Yeah.
And the women, I blame them too.
They tolerate it.
They tolerate it. You've never heard a woman, you don't hear these women nowhere on the podcast, nowhere saying that you look like a bitch.
Right.
Oh, Boosie, Boosie, Boosie. It's such a touchy subject with him because he got he has some distinct views. But in this case, it is somewhat disconcerting. It's been disconcerting for some time for some of the trends that quote unquote men, and in particular, I'm going to say black men, but the culture seems to be leading some of these men around because now, it's fashionable for a man to walk around with a purse. And I'm speaking on men who claim to be heterosexual. I'm not talking about men who identify as LGBTQIA plus. Okay, so let's dissect that. So I ain't talking to y'all, I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about men who claim to be hetero, but are doing these extra things that are not hetero. So I'm just calling a thing a thing. And so you have to be clear about what you're doing, and if you have a man that's all of a sudden, he thinks it's cool, then you might reevaluate what that relationship is. When he wants to come in and go get a full set with you and he wants to go to the spa with you and do other things, which men can go to the spa, men can take care of their skin. I'm not saying we can't appreciate a well manicured man, but at the same time, I don't expect a man to go to the salon and do the same things that I do, and the same mannerisms that I do. That's not what I'm attracted to as a heterosexual woman. It's not something I desire. If somebody else likes that, that's their thing. I'm not going to hate on it. Do you? But let's be clear. That's not what we doing over here. So, absolutely women have to, make it clear, what they want and what they will and will not tolerate, or I won't even say tolerate, what they want to entertain and what they won't entertain.
Wow. Now this speaks volumes, and it's coming out the mouth of Lil Boosie, but it definitely speaks volumes. And as he said, sometimes when you hear something from a woman, come on somebody, it's the same thing when sometimes women hear something from a man, especially one that she chooses to follow. It's a different, and he has to be a leader. So that's definitely big. I'm not big on men who say that they like women actually being in the same lane. I cannot stand a man that tends to be a competitive man that competes with women. Sometimes you can have a significant other that competes with you. So if you start doing things such as wearing makeup, lipstick, skorts, things of that nature, and we're in the same lane, then that's going to kind of pretty much turn me off. It's not my thing now. I know.
So I am so on board with what Lil Boosie is saying. What a powerful, powerful message. Because listen, when you start to go down that road where you are dressing like a woman, nail polish like a woman, all of these things that you're doing to make yourself feminine, something is wrong with that. I feel like when you have to go down that route, you're searching for something that you can't find inside yourself. I don't know who you're trying to be, what you're trying to impress, but it seems to me that, and this is my opinion, when people start doing things like that, it's normally celebrities or those who are higher up who have money and they don't have anything else to do with their time or their monies or their, they've done everything. They can buy anything. And so now they just start to experiment with different things and they get into all type of stuff. But listen, real men who truly, truly like women, they don't go for that. And if you are in a relationship with a guy who wants to paint his nails and take more time getting ready, making himself more dolled up or prettier than you, and you have to compete with him, you probably want to reevaluate that relationship and recognize that it's probably going to go nowhere fast. So I completely, wholeheartedly agree with him. And I also agree with him that women have got to speak up, because whatever we as women start to tolerate from a man, whether it's cheating, whether it's lying, whether it's abuse, no matter what it is, once we start to accept it, it becomes the norm.
Right now, she get her makeup done and getting her hair straight and everything. She's a beautiful young lady. Been doing things with Yin Yang, doing things with Pastor Troy, man. I'm talking about battle from the field of 100 to the final four. The Source Attitude page spread in the Source Award. She's some of the street kings and street queen. When you take volume 2, this is her video, Super Miss Attitude. Yap, hey, check this out. Hey, Miss Flawless, we coming in. I'm saying, right now, she get her makeup done and getting her hair straight and everything. She's a beautiful young lady. Been doing things with Yin Yang, doing things with Pastor Troy, man. I'm talking about battle from the
An elevated mindset is an empowered state of higher thinking, which ultimately shapes how you make sense of the world and yourself. The influence of how you think, act, and feel in any given situation is an impact of one's success or failure. So always operate with an elevated mindset.
We all know in our mind that there ought to be a time that we can set aside to show just how much we love you. And I'm sure you would agree, what could fit more perfectly than to have a world party on the day you came to be. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Who's ready to elevate? Who's ready to set it straight? Who's ready to talk about topics up for debate? See, you can't rehearse this. We ain't talking purses. We're talking about breaking those generational curses. For us ladies, it's urgent. Babies running to surgeons, wanting fixed in a hurry. In the fog, they're blurry. Men keeping us worried. Tables are topsy-turvy. Wanting ladies to save them and ladies to mess.
And I set you apart.